Welcome to ABC News at 11.
Tonight's episode is about Tender is the Night, written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So, to start off the show tonight, we're going to have a little interview with F. Scott Fitzgerald, and our lead reporter on that will be Amber Abels.
Over to you, Amber.
Thank you, studio. I'm here with Mr. F. Scott Fitzgerald and his wife, Zelda. And I would like to thank Mr. Fitzgerald for coming out of the grave to have this interview with me. We just have a few questions. When and where were you born?
I was actually born in 1896 in St. Paul, Minnesota. And I was born into a family where I am the only son.
Very interesting. Tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, as you may know, my father, Francis Scott Key, was actually the author of the Star-Spangled Banner, which I have heard that you now use as your national anthem. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, we do.
Ah, yes. So I always feel like I've lived in my father's shadow, so I felt the need to really thrive in life, to carry on his legacy as his only son.
How did you spend the later years of your life?
I actually became quite a bit of a drunk in my later years and tragically died of a heart attack at the age of 44.
So tragic.
So tragic, yes.
I personally have been studying Tender is the Night, and I was wondering if you could connect yourself to the main character.
Oh yes, Dick Diver. Well, as I was writing Tender is the Night, I had a bit of a self-discovery with Dick Diver's character, and I realized the vampiristic traits I wrote into him were actually traits I had myself. And one of the examples in the story is Dick was a psychiatrist for Nicole, and he decides that he falls in love with her as he is her doctor, and that has taken advantage of her a bit because she had a rough childhood and didn't have really good examples of men in her life. So Dick took advantage of her, and then as they were married, never appreciated her and made her feel very worthless. So that was an act of vampirism. I can say I relate to myself a little bit.
Very interesting. That is it for our interview here. Now we will head back to the studio for more information.
Thank you, Amber, for that.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about the setting of the story. This story is set in Paris, in the France area, in the 1900s, 1920s to about 1950s. The book is over a span of about 30 years, where we learn about different events that happened to our main character, Dick Divers, and his wife, Nicole Divers.
And this book is actually semi-autobiographical about F. Scott Fitzgerald because there are a lot of similarities between the main character, Dick Divers, and F. Scott Fitzgerald. We have book specialist Ashlyn Western here to help us with a quick plot summary. Ashlyn, welcome into the studio.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you here
Yeah, I'm
today.
glad you're talking about my favorite book.
Really,
Thanks for joining us here.
Yes, thank you.
ABC News at 11.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here.
So give us a little rundown of the book. What are some of the highlights, the big moments of it?
So, we start in the beginning with a movie star, and she has come to this place to vacation, and she's with her mother, and she's on the beach, and there are two different families, which kind of shows the Americans and the Europeans at the time and the social differences they had there. And anyway, she ends up meeting Dick Diver and his family. She finds Dick Diver very attractive from the start, and she begins to try to get to know him better, but she's also very impressed but kind of jealous of his wife, Nicole Diver. And so she goes to their house one night for a party, and some event happens where she ends up finding out that something took place in the bathroom of the Divers because Nicole went up there and so did Dick Diver, and everybody's freaking out about this event that no one knows of. And so then we go later, halfway through the book, we go back into the past, and we find out about their past.
I'm getting breaking news from a field reporter, Lainey Cornwall. Over to you, Lainey.
Thank you, studio. This really is breaking news. As you see right here, we're getting a little political with the segregating parties going on here. Over here, we got the Tan Party. They are natives to the French beaches, and they think this is their territory. While over here, we've got the White Party going on here. These are the American tourists who think they are all that. But really, the Frenchies have had enough of their crap. Back to you, studio.
Thank you, Lainey, for that.
Now more about the past. So, as we find out Dick is a recent graduate from Yale University. Correct? Yes, correct. And he's practicing psychiatry with multiple patients. And he ends up finding this one patient, and her name is Nicole. And she has a rough past, and he's trying to figure out more about her. And she ends up starting to love him quite deeply, and he's trying not to fall for her, but eventually it leads up where they love each other. And her problem with her past is that her dad abused her and raped her when she was a little kid. So that's just a terrible past.
My stars.
I know, it kind of affects the whole novel, and yeah, it's just really bad. And
Ashton, can I stop you right there? Yeah. I am receiving news right now that we have one of our field agents breaking headline news about symbolism.
no.
I'm not quite sure who it is.
Wow. This is important.
Wait, I'm getting word. Amber Abels. Amber Abels is on our symbolism story, and we'll go to her right now.
To you, Amber.
We're out here at the gardens today, and we are experiencing some bad weather. This is a great symbol of Nicole and Dick's relationship after it begins. In the beginning, the garden represents a beautiful place for Nicole to escape and get away from all of her problems with nothing but goodness coming out of it. But as her relationship gets stronger with Dick, so do the problems. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Amber.
So, back to Dick and Nicole's relationship.
Oh yes, so it's developing, and they both like each other. But the problem is she's a patient and he's loving her, and so a lot of people tell him not to do that because it's not really smart. Because will she be loved because she's loved, or will she be loved because she's a patient? Anyway, it's just really awkward. Lots of supervisors and stuff tell him not to do it because it might ruin their relationship.
So, we have a relative in-house of
Oh, we
Nicole,
do?
I believe.
Really?
Baby, can you come out here?
Oh, baby, this is baby Warren. Here you go. Here you go. Yes.
Yes.
Can I do anything for you?
You can take my hat.
Anything for you? Oh, my home. May I?
And the purse.
Okay, thank you. Oh, Gucci. Okay.
Baby, is that your name?
It is
Okay, we're so lucky to have you here. Thank you for coming out.
my pleasure.
So, what are your thoughts on Dick and Nicole's relationship?
You know, at first glance, I did meet Dick, and first, I did like him. But as I got to watch their relationship develop, I just don't think he feels the way he should for my baby sister. You know, and it hurts me. It hurts me deep. And I've just very, laid
Let's
past
go 1
skin
to
deep.
10.
1 to 10, maybe an 8.
Wow, you must really love your sister.
Oh, I do. Yes. And here's the thing. So as they were first getting together, I was like, this could work. She's found someone. She's found her mate. But as I've watched the relationship develop, I've seen the tension. Dick, I think he did have feelings for her. But as they progressed, he wanted someone who could give him more. And Nicole just can't do that for him. I do love my baby sister, but she isn't me. So it's just tension from the very beginning.
No one can be like you, baby.
It's true.
Thank you for that wonderful insight. We appreciate you coming here today.
Yes.
On my hat.
Thank you.
and purse, please.
Yeah, let me get that for you.
Yes.
Of course.
Do you have any parting words for our viewers about your thoughts on this whole situation?
Nothing works without true love.
Thank you.
Thank you, baby.
Wow! Oh, wow! We are getting news, folks. We are getting news. All right? Okay. We have
A Greek mythologist?
we have a Greek mythologist specialist.
Thank you, studio. Now, in this part of the book, we find that there is an obvious reference to Greek mythology. The goddess Athena is a Greek goddess who was a goddess of wisdom, warcraft, and intelligence. In here, we can see that she wants to be wise. Nicole wants to be wise. Nicole knows that if she is wise, she will not be seen as crazy. Athena also was born from the mind of her father, Zeus. Just like how Nicole is kind of created through her father. Her father had created a different version for Nicole, thinking that he was going to be her lover, which is kind of awkward. But in both situations, both of their fathers had created their daughters and their roles.
Thank you.
Tinder
Is the night.
Tinder
Is the night.
Tinder
Is the night.
Tinder to satisfy all your dating needs.
Ow! Do you ever feel like you've had enough of your one true love? Tinder is the night. Can help you find that person you're missing. Your mistress. Life is not about that one special someone. Sure, they're nice to have, but really life's about the fun. Where are the side messages? You need them all. Tinder is the night is here for you, to help you find the side woman for you.
I found the perfect side person with Tinder. Dick Diver was the perfect match.
Wow! Oh, wow! We are getting news, folks. We are getting news. All right? Okay. We have
A Greek mythologist?
a Greek mythologist specialist. But we already went to her. I apologize for that, folks. We actually have our very own Emily Barraza talking about the Bible. Who doesn't love the Bible and how the Bible connects to this story? We will go to her right now. Emily? Thank you, studio. Here I am emerging from the Garden of Eden, where Dick just fell from. So, in our story, we have Dick, the main character, the guy with living the dream. But through a turn of events, he loses his wife, his lover, and essentially himself. He goes from Nicole, who he loves so much, and goes in an affair with Rosemary. Another instance of someone falling from innocence is Nicole. As a child, she was raped and abused by her dad. At a young age, she lost her innocence. So we have Nicole falling from innocence and Dick eventually falling from innocence. And here we are, Garden of Eden, saying goodbye to Dick and Nicole. Back to you, studio. Thank you. Welcome back from our commercial break. We still have our book specialist here, Ashlyn Western, and she's going to be kind of wrapping up the story for us and giving us some significance.
Yeah, so actually that was where I was planning to end, because I've heard that you're quite the lover of this fantabulous novel, so I'll leave that time to you. Hear your thoughts.
Yes. All right. So, from my understanding, Dick and Rosemary kind of get together. She's an 18-year-old actor from Hollywood. She's kind of naive. She uses her mom a lot, like, Mom, what do I do in this scenario? What do I do here?
Very
so,
dependent.
yes, very dependent.
Low self-esteem, I might say.
Probably.
Wow, you're getting so much from this.
Thank you.
So, as the story progresses, Rosemary and Dick kind of get feelings, Rosemary more than Dick does. And she...
I believe Dick does think it's quite naughty. I'm pretty sure he does not want to act on those feelings because he knows that it will.
But it will hurt Nicole.
Yes.
Yes. So Rosemary kind of throws herself at Dick. He rejects a couple times, but soon enough, he kind of gives in. The natural man in him, you could say.
I think once he starts seeing that Nicole and him just are going downhill.
Yes, so it is revealed to the readers that Dick and Rosemary do have a bit of an affair, and we then...
But then I think he does realize that once Nicole starts going for the other man, Tommy, and he tries to get back with Rosemary, he realizes that both of these women don't need him, and that kind of destroys him, and I think that's when then
Yes.
he just spirals.
I was going to say that during that time when Rosemary and Dick were getting together, Nicole was also cheating on Dick with a friend, Tommy. So their
cheating streak.
yes, so their affair kind of broke Dick and Nicole apart. Nicole didn't rely on Dick. Rosemary was getting this confidence from Dick, and she eventually found herself. So neither of these women needed Dick anymore. So as he kind
And I
of
feel like there's a lot of representations of independent women throughout this novel. We have Nicole, my apologies, Nicole, Baby Warren, and Rosemary as we progress through.
we kind of get a sense of feminism, female empowerment in this story.
So if I'm listening here correctly, Dick neither has Nicole nor Rosemary at this point. What does he result to?
So as he has lost both of the only women that he really cared for essentially, he turns to alcoholism. He kind of goes
Hits
down
that
the
bottle.
train. Yeah.
Slippery slope.
So he takes all this energy and effort, he puts it into alcoholism, he becomes a drunk, and eventually he becomes to nothing. He had everything in the beginning of the story. He had the woman, he had the salary, he had everything he could ever want. But a couple turn of events and he's left with nothing. It's a very strong parallel to The Great Gatsby.
Goes to show that relationships don't work if it's not good love.
It has to
Very
be
true.
true love in order for a prosperous marriage.
Well, thank you so much, Ashlyn, for joining
Oh,
us
yes,
here in the
anytime.
studio today. We
Anytime.
really
It
appreciate
was
it.
great.
Thank you for being here.
We loved having you. Now, for our last segment of today's edition, we will go to our forecast board talking about the theme of the novel. There are several themes, and I think our specialists will go into detail, hammer them in, and really hash out the rest of this book and maybe its significance in our society today. Over to you, forecast people. Thank you, studio. Glad to be here telling you the forecast and the 411 about our book. So, the main theme we get from this book is fall from good fortune. Alright, so Nicole and Dick both live a good life, a wealthy life, yeah? And then Rosemary comes in. She's an actor. She's got some fortune too. But each one of these characters' good fortune leads to suffering relationships. They all fall. Okay, so that's like the overall theme. We kind of get some glimpses of money can't buy happiness, and we get a little feminism in here with gusts of social class distinctions. There's some political things that's going on at the beach with some killings here and there. We have tragedies of mental illness, which kind of shadows into the lasting effects of sexual abuse with Nicole. Nicole is mentally ill because of her early relationship with her dad. So then we come over here, night. Tender is the night. What does that really mean? Well, we have the nighttime, which is when we're not understanding. It's the absence of light, so we don't really know what's going on. We can't see anything. So we become fragile and we become easily broken, which is exactly tied into love. And our last theme here is love is vulnerable and fragile. All right, Dick, Nicole, Tom, and Rosemary, they all have this kind of weird love square, almost a love triangle. Doesn't really work out because love, that's not true, will not last. It's ugly, it's messy. And this is our high and our low of the book. Back to you, studio.
Thank you, forecasters.
Well, that's it for tonight, folks. I'm Emily Barraza.
And I'm Avery Woodison, and thanks for joining us on tonight's segment, Tender is the Night. We'll see you next time. ABC News Live at 11.
Drive safe.